राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः. First of all, offer my millions of obeisances to lotus feet of Asmade Guru Pad Padma, Nitila Prishta Jagat Guru Shishiman Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj, Tirandi Swami Shishiman Bhaktivedanta Dandi Maharaj, Nam Nishta Santa Shaniruddhas Prabhuji, all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavas who are gathered here, please accept my humble obeisances. Text 109. Chapter 1, Chapter 4, Text 109, Srimad-Brhad-bhagavatamrtam. Swayameva prasannam yan muni rudvagagocharam manoharataram chitralila madhurimakaram. Swayameva prasannam yan muni rudvagagocharam manoharataram chitralila madhurimakaram. That Supreme Lord, despite being inconceivable by the words and minds of the sages, and though being the support of various sweet pastimes, being very pleased, is residing in the house of the Pandavas. How is this most rare Supreme Brahman seen by them? In reply, he is telling the line, Swayam Eva, even though he is inconceivable by the words and the minds of great sages, he is himself blissful, that is, without any practice or by a little endeavor of devotion. He displays his mercy. In this way, being pleased himself, he manifests the wealth of mercy towards the Pandavas and is eternally seen in the human-like form of the Supreme Brahman, which is the support of attractive and sweet pastimes. In this way, the good fortune and special glories of the Pandavas are mentioned. Even the sages do not have such good fortune, so it is inconceivable by the words and the minds of the sages. Despite saying this, in the other way, the special glories of the Pandavas are revealed. The purport of saying the topmost bliss is that he is the origin of various types of attractive and very sweet pastimes. Rather, he is the mine or place of birth of various types of sweet pastimes. Or else, due to being the place of origin of various sweet pastimes, simply by the touch of merely a portion of them, the mind of Cupid and others is stolen. Brhad-vratadharan asmam stansha garhastha dharmina samrajyavyaptran matva maparadhavruto bhavam. O Narad, we the people are lifelong brahmacharis and the Pandavas are followers of the Grihastha Dharma and are busy in managing the kingdom. Thinking in this way, please do not become an offender. The Pandavas are engaged in excessive sense objects and opulence. However, we are poor, lifelong celibates. Therefore, it is improper for people like us to associate with them. With this apprehension, on the pretext of giving instruction to Sri Narad, is saying Brhad-vratadharan. We are staunch maintainers of the great vow of lifelong celibates. Here we people means Sri Narad, Sri Shanaka and others who are considered lifelong brahmacharis. The Pandavas are householders, that is, they are followers of the Grihastha life. Especially due to having a sovereign empire, they are busy in managing the empire and in the state affairs. Do not become an offender by thinking like this. In other words, do not think of these Mahabhagavatas in this way and look down upon them, thinking them to be unpardonable. The offense can never go away. Therefore, please do not make an offense by thinking in this way. Nispruha sarvakameshu Krishna padanusevaya Devai Paramahamsanam Acharya Padambuja. Actually, the Pandavas are Nishkinchana. That is, they are constantly serving the lotus feet of Sri Krishna and have become free from the desire for all types of sense gratification. Therefore, they are worshipable by even swan like Acharyas. Though the Pandavas have such opulence, kingdoms, and so forth, they are supremely akinchana, possessionless. Despite being rulers of entire empires, they are free from the desire for sense gratification. In other words, they are free from all desires for sense gratification, both material and heavenly. Therefore, they are Paramahamsas and Gurus also, preceptors of swan-like liberated souls. And being preceptors of the crushed jewel of Paramahamsas, they are worthy of their worship. Because of their constant service to the lotus feet of Sri Krishna, they have become free from the desire for all other objects. However, Paramahamsas are not able to give up the attachment for the blissful feelings of their tiny souls. In this way, the Pandavas, being both Parama Bhakti Rasika and Ananda Maya, are also worthy of being worshipped by the topmost Paramahamsas. Text 112. Tesham jeshtasya samrajye pravrittir bhagavat priyat ato bahuvida deva durlabha rajya sampadam. Whatever attachment the seniormost among the Pandavas, Yudhishthira Maharaj, has for the empire, that is only for the pleasure of Sri Bhagavan. Therefore, he has such royal opulence that is rare even for the demigods. If you object that, what is the need for an empire while being so rasik in bhakti? Therefore, he is speaking the lines beginning with Tesha among the Pandavas, thinking like this, that by doing so, the Lord would become pleased. The seniormost among the Pandavas, Yudhishthira Maharaj, had an inclination towards an entire empire. On accepting the empire by propagating devotional service to Bhagavan, everyone would receive the utmost benefit and Bhagavan would also become happy. With this intention, he accepted an empire, just as in the first canto, Bhagavatam 1.12.4, it is stated, Apipala dharma raja pitavad ranjayan praja nisva sarvakamebhya krishna padanu sevaya. Dharmaraj Yudhishthira constantly remembers the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. Therefore, he has become devoid of all desires and giving pleasure to the citizens like a father, he began to rule the kingdom while propagating devotional service. In the above mentioned verse, while commenting on the phrase giving pleasure to the citizens, Sri Sutta Goswami has said that it refers to making the citizens happy by propagating devotional service to Bhagavan. The meaning of maintaining like the father is also that the propagation of devotional service to Bhagavan is considered a nourishment. It is stated in the instructions of Sri Narad to Sri Sanaka, Sri Hari Bhakti Sudodaya 1.51, Ahoti dhanyosi yataha samasto janas tvaisha pravali krutoyam utpadayetyo atra bhavargitanam bhaktim haro loka pita sadhanya. You are most fortunate because you are awakening the devotion of all people towards the Lord. Factually, those who awaken devotion to Hari in the hearts of people who are suffering from the sorrows of material existence are fortunate. Therefore, Maharaj Yudhishthira has no attachments for various types of royal opulences that are even rare for the demigods to achieve. The transformation cannot be an imposition on the mind. Here, opulence means the sixth portion of pious merits of activities performed by the citizens that the king receives by maintaining the subjects of the kingdom. This is called meritorious opulence, punya sampatti. Or else the meaning of the opulence is by both the kingdom and all the wealth situated within the kingdom. This should be considered the character of true religion, Sadharma. By the expression seniormost among the Pandavas, the wealth of the elder brother, Maharaj Yudhishthira, should also include the wealth of the younger brothers. In this way, due to a mutual unity by divine affection, the special glories of the observance of true religious principles are shown. Text 113. Raja Suyasha Medhadi Mahapunyarjita Satha Vishnu Lokadayo Atrapi Jambudvipadhirajata. They are the rulers of Vishnuluka and of Jambudvip even on this planet, having earned great pious merits by performances of the Rajasuya, Ashwamedha sacrifice and other such activities. Yudhishthira Maharaj personally performed such yajnas as the Rajasuya and Ashwamedha, which were full of the merits of bhakti or devotional service. However, he surrendered all the results to Sri Bhagavan, and thus it is said that he earned great pious credits from them. The word Tatha refers to other activities of the same class having the same essential quality. In this way, the achievement of planets such as Sri Vaikuntha by those great pious deeds is mentioned. By the word Adi, the Vaikuntha planets which are located above all others, and the achievement of all other planets below them, such as the celestial planets, are achieved. This is the understanding. On account of Sri Vaikuntha being like an ocean of happiness, the happiness from other planets are like streams that flow into the ocean. Therefore, all types of happiness are included in the happiness of the Vaikuntha planets. Yudhishthira reached the Vaikuntha planets, having attained the heavenly plane by his own desire. In this way, after describing the transcendental prosperity of the next life, now he is describing the majesty of the present life with 3 verses, beginning with the compound Atrapi, even on this planet. Text 114 and 115. Trailokya vyapakam swachham yashasya vishya surana suraniyaye sarvadosha vivarjita Krishna prasada janita Krishna eva samarpita nashakan kamapi pritim ragyo janaitum kvachit. The great mass of self-prestige that preoccupies the entire 3 worlds, along with other objects, are free from all types of defect. Though they are desired by gods, they are automatically obtained by the mercy of Sri Krishna and thus dedicated to Sri Krishna. Therefore, all these objects for sense enjoyment are not able to have any adverse effects on Maharaj Yudhishthira. The sovereignty of this planet and Jambudvip, the heaps of fame that preoccupy the 3 worlds, and all objects of enjoyment that are free from all types of defects such as garland and sandalwood are even desired by the demigods. However, they cannot be obtained, even though in the incident of describing the transcendental opulence of the next life, it is termed as Deva Durlabha, rare even for the demigods. However, now in the description of the worldly opulence of this life, by saying desired by the demigods, it is mentioned twice. And the reason for calling it that which is desired by the demigods is that all these material possessions are free from the defects of being perishable, because all this opulence is manifest due to the mercy of Sri Krishna. It is not earned by their own activities. If we say that fire is hot by its very nature, similarly these objects of sense enjoyment, naturally being the shelter of all defects, are inauspicious. This matter is true because all these objects of sense gratification are offered to the lotus feet of Sri Bhagavan. It is said that they have reached the nature of immortal nectar and no defect of any type remains in them, or the unwanted defect can expand its influence. Moreover, they are transformed into great qualities. Here by saying that they are dedicated complete to Sri Krishna, that is for the service of Sri Krishna, they are affectionately offered to Bhagavan. This is to be understood. Text 116. Krishna Premagni Dandhaya Mananta Karanasyahi Shud Agni Vikalaseva Vasa Sarakchandanada. Such objects as fine cloth, garlands and sandalwood are unable to give happiness to a person suffering from hunger. Similarly, all these objects also are unable to give happiness to the heart of Maharaj Yudhishthira. who is encircled by the ring of fire of Sri Krishna Prema. Nevertheless, all these objects are unable to provide happiness to the heart of Sri Yudhishthira Maharaj in any possible way. Why? To show the main reason, he first mentions the offerings to Sri Krishna. Later on, he explains the speciality of Maharaj Yudhishthira. Simply by the touch of that prema he has towards Sri Krishna, only countless types of enormous faults are automatically destroyed. Therefore, that prema is compared to a ring of fire. That same prema creates pain in the heart of the loving devotee at a time of separation and even at a time of meeting due to the anxiety of future separation. That happiness disappears. Shri Krishna prema is always like the flames of a fire. That is, prema is the ultimate limit of highest bliss. So its effect is also like fire, which is naturally hot. In other words, one's heart also becomes inflamed like fire, in whose heart this bliss of prema arises. The evidence is given in the description of the autumn season in the 10th canto, Bhagavatam, 10.20.45. Ashlishya samasitoshnam Prashuva vanamarutam Janastapam jahu gopyo na Krishna ruchetasaham. Except for the gopis whose hearts had been stolen by Sri Krishna, people could forget their suffering by embracing the wind coming from the flower-filled forest. This wind was neither hot nor cold. The purport is that by the embrace of the wind coming from the flower-filled forest in the autumn season, the suffering of everyone was pacified, but the suffering of the gopis increased even more. Why? Those whose hearts were stolen by Sri Krishna, the gopis, being burnt excessively in the fire of Krishna Prema, became full of intense pain. By the wind coming from the flower-filled forest in the autumn season, the fire of their prema became even more inflamed. Here, those autumn pastimes are not described. The examples of giving things such as cloth, garlands, and sandalwood paste cannot create happiness for a person suffering from hunger. Just as fire in the form of hunger dries up all the elements in the body and agitates it, so clothes and other objects such as sandalwood paste and garlands cannot give happiness to a hungry person, but are painful to him. By the word Adi, sons and wife are to be understood. If a person who is suffering from hunger receives food and nourishment, only the fire in his stomach is pacified. Similarly, the objects of sense enjoyment cannot make a person burning in the fire from Sri Krishna Prem happy. But if that person achieves Sri Krishna, then he receives peace from the flames of the fire of separation and becomes happy. This is indicated by this example. Rather, this example in the lack of the ability to produce affection is only partially acceptable. Text 117 and 118. Aho kima pare Srimad Draupadi Mahishivara Tadrisha Bhratara Srimad Bhima Senarjuna Daya Na Priyadaya Sammandan Na Chaturvarga Sadhanat Param Shri Krishna Padabja Prema Sambandataha Priya. What more can I say about this matter? Srimati Draupadi Devi, the crest jewel of all queens, and such virtuously decorated brothers as Bhima and Arjuna are not as dear to Sri Yudhishthira. Still, the affection shown by Sri Yudhishthira is not due to a bodily relationship, but to a relationship of prema under the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. They all are dear to him. If you say, why does Maharaj Yudhishthira show so much affection towards his wife, Srimati Draupadi, and his younger brothers, Bhima and Arjuna? Therefore he quotes the two shlokas beginning with Aho. Are his brothers incapable of showing affection to him too? What to speak of benefiting from his wealth and opulence? Srimati Draupadi is unable to kindle his affection too, but if at any time his affection towards Draupadi does not become noticeable, that is not due to a bodily relationship, rather simply to a relationship of devotion to Sri Krishna. that relationship with Sri Krishna remains far away from the enjoyment of other sense objects. The crown jewel and topmost of royal Mahishis, whose adorned with all good virtues, Srimati Draupadi, and such all virtuous brothers as Bhima and Arjuna, are also not granted the affection of Sri Yudhishthira. Other than the relationship to Sri Krishna, what to speak of other enjoyable objects? The crest jewel of the beautiful lady Srimati Draupadi and brothers Bhima and Arjuna, who are decorated with similar virtuous qualities, are also not as dear to him. However, still sometimes, if affection is seen in them, but is also not due to a bodily relationship, due to the acceptance of one's hand in marriage, or due to the bodily relationship by birth, not for the achievement of religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, or liberation. Rather, Sri Krishna is dear to him, and no one else can be as dear to him. Mata tirtham, pita tirtham, bharya tirtham, tathaiva cha. Putra Tirtham, mother is a holy place, father is a holy place, wife is the holy place, as well as the son a holy place. According to these words of the Padma Puran, his wife Shri Draupadi and his younger brothers Bhima and Arjuna, who are like his sons, are holy places. Therefore, even though they are associates in the mutual goals of life, the affection of Shri Yudhishthira has towards his brothers and wife is not related to the body, but only to the affection to the lotus feet of Sri Krishna, or mutual affection among the devotees of Sri Krishna. Due to that loving relationship alone, his affection towards them is seen. Here the word Priya, dear, is utilized again due to the relationship of Krishna Prema. Their mutual relationship of affection is indicated. Factually, the mutual attachment or affection of devotees of Krishna towards one another is the nature of the devotional service, and by this great happiness is achieved. This is well known. In this way, the qualities of one settle in the qualities of others. Therefore, simply by showing the glories of Sri Yudhishthira Maharaj, the glories of all others are indicated, and the juniors are the followers of the seniors. Therefore, all the qualities of the elder brother settle in the qualities of the younger brother, and such great glories are described in the first canto of Bhagavatam. Sampada kratavo loka mahishi bhrataro mahi jambudipadipatyam cha yashascha tridivam gatam kim te kama surasparha mukunda manaso dvija adijay harur mudam ragya kshuditasya yathetare. News even reached the celestial planets about Maharaj Yudhishthira's worldly possessions. Yajnas by which he would attain a better destination, his queen, his brothers, his sovereignty over the earth and his fame. O Brahmanas, the opulence of the king was so enchanting that even the denizens of heaven aspired for it. But because he was absorbed in the service of the Lord, nothing could satisfy him except the Lord's service. On account of this, he was always meditating on the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. What more can I say in this connection? Just as the mind of a hungry person never run to any other object than food, similarly no enjoyable object such as his vast royal kingdom could inflame the heart of Sri Yudhishthira other than Sri Krishna Prema. This is the intended meaning of the two slokas which are to be considered. Text 119. Vanare maya tesham nirvaktum shakyate kiyat mahatmyam bhagavan veti bhavani vaditadikam. O Bhagavan Narad, I am just a monkey. What can I know of the glories of the Pandavas? What potency do I have to describe them? You know their glories better than I. How am I fit to describe the glories of the Pandavas? In other words, I do not have the slightest ability to ascertain their glories. Why? I am a monkey. So how much power does a monkey have other than this? This is well spoken to Sri Narad and reminded to again. Well, again, how will I appraise the glories of the Pandavas? O Bhagwan Narada, O best of all knowing souls, you are more aware of it and can weigh the glories of the Pandavas better than me. As of now, such topics as the prema of Bhagwan Shri Narada, who is prepared to go to Dwarka, is left unfulfilled. The Saints, chapter 4, entitled Bhakta, the devotee, with the Digdarshani Tika, Bhavanuvada of Srimad-Brhad-bhagavatamrtam. Vancha kalpataruveshya kripa sindhubhyo cha pradhanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.